Because if not, it's gonna be very tricky for them to bounce back and regroup, considering how
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
built a lineup that is, you could say, very balanced in terms of the distribution of the damage and in terms of just how they're able to form or go for the formations when there's a team fight.
Love to see this in the first game. Great compositions, I'd say, on both sides, but ultimately, the early game is going to be crucial for both of them to go ahead and get the start and then play into the gold lanes, Benny Cutie and Super Marco. Expect them to just go 1v1 like they are right now? Oh!
Fortunately for Super Marco, he remains bulletproof and was able to evade a potential gank from Chakno and Benny Cutie.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is something we're so not used to seeing from Super Marco.
Yeah.
He was already forced to use the Purify less than a minute into the game, and even Ogwen had to use the Revitalize just to help him a bit. And now they need to help each other just to manage this lane, which is being heavily controlled by Benny Cutie and Chaknu. So even though we could be expecting all the pressure from Team Falcons, it feels a bit restricted because you need to pay a bit more attention to helping your gold laner.
Yeah, and in that sense too, I guess, you know, Benny Cutie used his flicker, so, but that's the thing. Oh, Lancey. Okay.
Close. Few still holding on to Lancey, but there's the defense coming in from Chaknu.
Oh, what I was gonna say. Oh, hold on. Kyle Teasy might try to clean up. Oh! They forced him to go that way.
That was a snipe.
That was well timed.
Oh my, Kyle TZ. Right abyssal arrow. And then an arrow from Kyle from the left side to take down and draw the first blood onto Lancey.
Yep, this is exactly what you need to see from Team Falcons. Rimar will be able to gain some information and Chakno will be there as well, but he's gonna get bursted down!
Just like a Flap TZ already shining with the Benedetta so far, forcing 3 more TZ and the rest of TNC to concede the first turtle.
Okay, they're gonna put pressure here still on this side of the jungle. They probably won't get anything off of this, but they at least want to go ahead and just make TNC think. So it looks like they'll just come together as a team to make sure Zyda gets the buff.
Even the Revitalize was forced out already, and 4 members just ganked up on Master Ogwen to take him down.
Yeah, I was supposed to say they could have probably limited the chances of TNC getting trades because they clearly won in the turtle, and they were almost not even allowing TNC to do anything about it. But now TNC, they found their footing. Even Zyda gets to gain some access to the jungle. Oh wait!
Petrify play was there. Oh, Zyda couldn't escape the attack from Falcons there.
Okay, Few feels mad.
Yeah.
Like, this is what he needs. An aggressive mid lane that wins out in the matchup. And he's going beyond the matchup. He's being such a huge problem to Zyda right now.
Yeah, one of the things about this Selena, though, is it's great in the early game. And there's a potential for it to fall off towards the, you know, late game. So hopefully they can continue to work this lead. Flap should be able to get out of here fine. Again, this is a Benedetta. You've got a bunch of tools to work with, but he's going to get dragged back.
Now the spread plus the ult coming in from Chaknu. Just Flap TZ trying to delay as much as possible. The wall was there, no escape. And 3mar picks up the kill.
Yeah, that was close. He could have used the Cyclone Eye, even the regen, just to try and survive, but there was no other way he could have gotten out of that. Fortunately for Team Falcons, the turtle will be spawning down bottom. They could be the first to get to position themselves, although Kyle TZ, he has a different plan in mind again.
Oh, just like Few has a different plan against Lancey. Okay, no more feathered airstrike there.
He got the purple!
And he also got the purple away from Zyda.
Again, they'll put pressure where they can, but now this objective just should be secured. I'm not sure if Zyda really wants to even contest this. It's so low.
They might go for the post objective instead, but Zyda gets stunned down in the electrofinable Petrify play from Flap TZ once again. Not looking good for Zyda at the start, and Few is going to be able to walk away with the flicker sidestep to save himself.
Zyda! It's always Zyda who gets the abyssal arrows, who gets the traps from Few. It's so unfortunate. He's already 1-2, and every single time he tries to show up, Few is in the perfect position just to disrupt him of all those possible potential punctures. and the threat that he could pose as a Lancelot against Team Falcons.
Guess that's the way you answer it. You know, you answer it with a Selena and a lot of this crowd control right now that Falcons is throwing at him.
Boom!
Hold
Plus
on.
the Mountain Shocker. It's not going to connect onto Lancy though, and Chaknu has to create space for TNC here, and both teams will disengage.
Yeah, I know we said it's going to be a hard game for Lancy, but it feels like they don't care. It's a harder game for Zyda, the way we're seeing it right now. Even Kyle TZ brave enough to contest these objectives away from Zyda one-on-one, and I think we're slowly seeing the effect of this constant pressure. Oh wait!
Oh, Super Marco got trapped, but he was able to cast his battle spell. He was able to escape. One more hit, remains bulletproof. Now quick rotation from TNC to try and go for the bottom lane turret, but Team Falcons answers back.
Oh, Marco. He's able to survive with a little bit of health and shielding, utilizing that Zaman Force, but also that the Purify there. So very close, but Falcons also is doing work across the map. They almost got this tier 1 turret. That's what Marco's been working on. You can see he's up on the top for the gold as well. He dealt with the pressure early game, but he's basically got it back here. Now they're spotted out.
Lalo going to connect again, but fortunately Benecutie was able to back off. Chaknu once again to the rescue to create space against Team Falcons.
Yeah.
Now final turtle already spawned. Let's see if TNC can contest.
Okay.
Yep. Lancy's holding this rush. It will be a great position for the Federate airstrike, but Team Falcons, they don't feel like they're trying to go for the engage just yet. They have limited information, very limited information, and Kyle TV is still trying to secure his purple buff. But I think FlapTZ knows.
Yeah, that turret went down too, so they delayed it to go ahead and get that objective. Now the fight for the last turtle, though.
Missile Arrow's not going to connect. FlapTZ chasing right after Benecutie with Electro final blow. He still already expended his Petrify, and now Chaknu caught in a crossfire once again. Gonna fall in the hands of Super Marco. 3-mar flickers in. Hasn't committed the ult yet. It's not gonna mount to anyone just yet. Ogwen's there though, and Zyda jumps in as well, but still Team Falcons holding on. They do have the Revitalize. Nobody's taken down for the Falcons side yet, and only Chaknu is gonna fall down.
Oh my goodness, they did their best just to sustain everything. But it took a lot for TNC to be able to get away with very little or no deaths at all. You could see how even that missed timing on the Retribution didn't pose much of a threat towards Team Falcons because they were still able to proceed with the fight nonetheless. They still had their kits complete and they had enough damage to deal with whoever wanted to go for the engage. And fortunately for 3-mar, he didn't necessarily go down, but he needs to be extra careful because right now, Team Falcons, when Super Marco and Kyle TZ are together, they have more than enough damage to deal with these tanky front lines of TNC.
And you can see this too, again, looking at the items. You know, some of the first items are locked in for TNC, but even that last fight, you can see how they're trying to find that right window to fight Falcons. They know they're down a few thousand gold. It's nothing too crazy to work against, but you don't want to be in a position where you continue to go down and give kills and gold over to Falcons before their first Lord comes up. So they have about 30 seconds or so to figure things out. Part of this, though, is, again, we really haven't been able to see Benecutie in action just because Falcons have done a really good job, and it's been flat for the most time, putting pressure on that back line, on Benecutie. So he's not a part of those fights, whereas instead for Super Marco, he's protected well with this kind of lineup that's around him, but then he can also rely on that Zaman Force and the Purify that he has here. So it's a little bit more difficult for Benecutie, but eventually that Granger will be online.
Yeah, and that's all Benecutie needs to do for now, because it's not really the kind of gold laner you could expect him to do all those split pushes and side wave management kind of playstyle, because it's a Granger, but TNC are backing on the idea that eventually they can rely on him to provide the damage. And it's also not just that, it's TNC not being able to go for the macro as much as they want to because the rotations are so fast, and here we go.
There's the conceal. Zyda is going to be the target. Phantom executions there, but he got stunned down by 3 members. Thorn grows and Puncture to escape the gank of Team Falcons. So TNC still has their jungler for this Lord take.
Ooh, they wanted to make a play up there, but great job for Zyda to stay alive.
Okay. Still, Team Falcons are the ones in control of the map. They're already at a 4K gold lead, and this one level gap in favor of Kyle TZ has been going on for several minutes now. Looking at the items, hold on, there's a conceal play from Chaknu, but they can only just use the Mountain Shocker to reveal where TNC is.
Ogwen spots where TNC is forcing them to back off. And there's a hard reset on this Lord. No teams have a clear advantage though. Few might get caught in the crossfire, but Flcn went for Lancey, forced out the flicker. A lot of resources now have been expended, and still the Lord hasn't been started.
So some battle spells used up here, but ultimately Lord still for the taking. Both teams have positioning, but BennyQt will go clear that wave out. Again, they don't want to go ahead and lose these holy shields if they can keep them up. And that's the thing too, BennyQt, I don't know if we got a chance to look at the items just yet, but if we can see where BennyQt is in terms of the build path, because yeah, once that Granger is available with maybe 2 or 3 items, or at least the 3 items, and also has the defense with the Wind of Nature most likely, then he should be able to move around a little bit easier. But that's the thing, there's so much pressure from Falcons here to deal with, and right now they're fighting for the Lord.
Lord, it's going to be a rushing battle. Still, KyleTz will secure it without the contest from TNC. Zyda was just in the mid lane. And now there's a charge play from Chaknu paired up with the flicker, but it's not going to connect. Now the punish from Team Falcons. 5 Falcons ganked up on Chaknu to bring him down.
Such a great call from Team Falcons to just go and burst down the Lord, knowing that Flcn had his eyes on where Zyda was. He was just distracting the jungler of TNC. Another Abyssal Arrow lands, but going back, the dance is so hard for TNC because Team Falcons, they don't really put themselves out there, and they're always waiting for this Mountain Shocker, so they know where to pivot from that point onwards, and that's why they're the ones who are always so confident to start and engage in the fights, because they have full information on where TNC is, and they are mostly reliant on this tectonic charge. But earlier we saw it fail, and now Team Falcons are clearly the ones in an advantage.
Now 3 more, just zoning out the members of Team Falcons. Already committed to spread. They are able to take away the Lord by and saving also all the inhibitor turrets. But then again, another wave is coming from Team Falcons. We have to watch out for Fuse Abyssal Arrow. We have to watch out for FlapTZ's entrance because he does have the Petrify available.
This has been a phenomenal game here for Flap, sitting 3K ahead of 3mar right now too, and this Benedetta doing work, especially in the damage department. And you know, some people might not be used to seeing FlapTZ play the Benedetta too much, but that's what we were talking about leading into the matchup. You know, the XP lane right now is in a great position where these XP laners can pick up these heroes like the Benedetta to provide a little more damage if that's what the lineup needs, or a little more sturdiness, durability like what 3mar did here. Because 3mar, he hasn't been able to do as much farming because his job is to also help protect, heal, keep BennyQt alive, while Chaknu is the one going in with that tectonic charge and everything else. So that's why he gets in a position where he might have to take that chance. And this has been the story of Chaknu anyway. Every single time we watch him play, he's the one that a lot of people look for to start those fights or initiations up.
Yeah, and although he did earlier, the thing is they need to be really calculated about it, because it's so easy for Team Falcons to go and look for the punish. If ever he does land a tectonic charge and they get to do the follow-up through the feathered airstrike, Lancey should be expecting Few or FlapTZ to come in at any given moment. This is also a damage Benedetta we're looking at, by the way. He already has the Blade of Heptas. He's already intact as well, so you could expect a bit more damage. And the fact that he isn't really as aggressive in terms of just looking for pickoffs, but really just trying to serve as the disruptor is what's becoming a headache for TNC, because they can't really position themselves well enough to make full use or to maximize the skills that they have, the resources that they have. And this applies for their ranged heroes specifically. That's both Lancey and BennyQt, and that's where majority of the damage comes from.
Yeah, so for Team Falcons, it's just literally they can spam a lot of game-changing skills, a lot of crowd controls from Few, even from Ogun and Flap. But unlike for TNC, it's really a one big ticket ult, the tectonic charge that can come from Chaknu. And it's also really going to be key to have that flicker available so he can make sure to set up TNC for this potential last Lord Dance with a 7.7k lead established by Team Falcons.
So they'll get control right now of the Lord. They might be able to just go ahead and take this, unless Zyda can pull some fancy moves off here. But 3mar is given the information, and Falcons, even despite having this kind of lead, will go ahead and just take it slowly. They need KyleTz over here. Keep an eye on Flap, what he decides to do. If he's going to just pressure this lane, either the mid or the off chance he does, because you can see Lancey had to clear out that wave too. So they're taking things slowly, but they got to deal with Flap.
Yeah, and even if they try to look for an engage against the remaining 4 members, then Flap can just come from behind. So they'll be sandwiched in that fight. And they need to be really careful about wherever they position themselves, because even during instances like this where Chaklu just tries to find the perfect position, the placements of the traps are just too good.
Flap.
Mountain Shark already dropped down. It's gonna go to Lancy. Immediately obliterated, but Zaida secures the Lord. Super Marco wants to go for the punish. Dream Marco gonna mount on Kyle TZ over there, but gets surrounded by 3 Falcons. Now Super Marco up against 3. He almost got Zaida, but Benny answers back as well as Kyle TZ. That's gonna be a 2-for-2 trade, and Zaida steals the Lord.
The 2-for-2 trade. I thought that was going to be all Falcons, but TNC found 2 in it.
Apparently there is gonna be the clutch factor still when it comes to TNC. The attention was so split up. It was a supposedly really great pickoff for Team Falcons because Kyle TZ was able to work on Lancy all by himself. And even after that happened, the Lord wasn't completely reset. So Zaida just tried to change his priorities. He just focused on taking the Lord for themselves because they knew that Falcons had their eyes set on the fight instead, and that was the only instance where we saw Falcons completely let go of what was in front of them. And TNC right now, through this, could potentially take the first few turrets for this game.
I said it. I was like, Zaida is able to pull out
And he did
some
it.
fancy moves. He did it. And even it looked so good from Falcon's view where it's like, oh, Flap's coming from that back line, but now they're going to try to defend this mid lane turret. They do get things cleared out. Oh, are they going to make a play here? Ogwin was trying to give the charge, but they'll back off. They dealt with the Lord quickly. Again, when you had, what do they have, an 8,000 gold lead, it's been diminished about in half.
It's just
so
one.
they still hold on to well, but hey, TNC does the first thing that needs them to get closer to a victory here, turning it in their favor.
Yeah. Bit by bit, TNC.
Do it. They just have to be able to find the right angle here. But this all leads to another Lord standoff. This one, either team could take. Now the one advantage is that one base turret that's down for TNC. I'm not sure if Falcons wants to play into that, or if they're just going to pressure him off the Lord.
Flap TZ even committed to Petrify onto Lancy. Might be able to take him down because Kyle TZ's on the back line. Mountain Sharker is going to connect, but here comes Zaida and Benny to shut down Kyle TZ. A killing spree for Zaida as Team Falcons retreat.
Oh, they wanted Lancy. They missed it. Now Ogwin's going to be in trouble too after losing Kyle TZ.
Yeah. They tried their best to take out Lancy, and they nearly did. Kyle TZ came from the perfect angle, but it was just so unfortunate. But now Super Marco, every single member for Falcons still wants to fight!
Lancy Few was able to escape though. Ogwin with the revitalize, but still a counter play coming in from Flap TZ to bring down Lancy. Lord still up, but Zaida is there for TNC with the retribution, and he is gonna secure it. Team Falcons trying to scatter away, but Ogwin gets caught in the crossfire. Benny Cutie picks up another. Super Marco Zaman Force drop down, as well as Flap TZ, but he's up against 4. Look at the base up top.
Yep, they seem like they don't want TNC to be able to defend,
Marco!
but they fail!
Marco was able to take down one with him, and Zaida to the rescue and defend the top lane. That was a close call for the Phoenix Army.
What is happening?
Oh my goodness, the calls from Team Falcons. It seems like they really just wanted to stick with the fight, even though they did not have their jungler, even though Kyle TZ wasn't there. There were moments where Flap TZ felt like he just wanted to try and still go for the contest, and even after TNC was already able to secure the Lord, the waves that were so great up top, Team Falcons, they might have wanted to try and see if that could be the way to victory.
Oh, they could have, but now they're going to face down this powered up push with this Lord making its way up top, the 20-minute mark here. TNC finally just getting rid of the entire gold lead that Falcons had for the majority of this game. They've clawed back. They've lit the flames, man. I'd say this Battle of the Skies is a great one for game 1 already.
Yeah.
So they'll delay it a little bit further, waiting to get the right timing here for Benny Cutie to join this push into the base of Falcons. Now, can they defend? Again, they should be able to clear out the Lord, but if there's a forced fight from TNC, we'll see how they play it out. Feather Dash already dropped down.
Drop down to zone out the members of Team Falcons. Try to get an inhibitor turret down with them. Base of Team Falcons now been exposed. Shaknu has his flicker. Can't come up with a combo to catch Team Falcons off guard, and Flcn from the back. He's trying to go for Lancy with the electric final blow. He's able to escape. There's the Earth and Rampart coming in from Chaknu, and still Team Falcons are able to defend with 5 members. Phantom Execution casted down by Zyda. He's going right after a few, and they're able to take all inhibitor turrets down. Zyda still alive. Diamond Force dropped down. KyleTzy fortunately was able to delay the ultimate of Lancy there, so TNC has to back off, but they got the job done.
Oh my goodness, they still want to go for it. But after that successful siege, TNC were the first ones to actually completely expose the base of Team Falcons. It was a great defense we saw from Team Falcons there, trying to pour in all of their resources and backing off once they saw the feathered airstrike already being committed here by Lancy, because the damage that was coming in from this Farsa was already no joke. A single drop of the feathered airstrike was already able to bring Few down to half HP, and that's something that they really need to consider in the upcoming fights. But there's a good seal!
Seal play from TNC, trying to look for a target.
Oh, no.
There's the ult coming in from Chakno as they take down Few immediately. Ogwen might be the next to fall. Super Marco goes in to try and save Ogwen as Flcn just coming into the mix from the bottom lane. TNC has an advantage.
Flap, gonna spot it out.
And he's gonna spot out Zyda. Zyda was able to Thorn Rose and a Phantom Execution out, so still TNC alive with their jungler.
TNC does it, but does Falcons want to try to steal this away? They're going to be zoned out so much, though. They have to make a play.
Okay, they're trying to make a play, though. Super Marco jumps in, but Zyda will secure the Lord. Lassie drops down to feathered airstrike. Phantom Execution coming in from Zyda. He might be able to bring down Super Marco. Pure Foul already drops down, and Benny brings the final blow to take down the Bulletproof. Another one to fall for Team Falcons. KyleTzy up next, because it's a triple for Benny Kyuchi. Flcn trying to delay, and it's a full man wipeout for the Phoenix Army.
TNC, they fought back and they stayed true to this composition. Zyda will go ahead and jump on in, but as they go to take the victory for Game 1 against Team Falcons, it's the Battle of the Skies.
And the Battle of the Skies, the first one to draw first blood is TNC.
Waiting for the perfect opportunity, paired with Zyda and all those clutch retribution and objectives.